Hello, my name is Cindy Matalucci, and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, to the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place that you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So come with me while we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Trilogy Financial Services. For all your financial needs and goals, Windus and her team have got you covered. For more information on Trilogy Financial and how to work with Windus, you can go to trilogyfs.com/Windus. On today's episode, we start our show in studio with Anthony Williams, medical medium, #1 New York Times best-selling author of Medical Medium, Life-Changing Foods, Thyroid Healing, Liver Rescue, and Cleanse to Heal. Next, we are on location with Triton Charters, San Diego's newest and largest catamaran to splash into San Diego. So many people suffer from chronic pain and mysterious illnesses, and they cannot get an answer on what is ailing them. I too have suffered inflammation and many issues that I thought were thyroid related, but they were not, and I was misdiagnosed. It's really stressful. Well, have no fear, because we talk with Anthony Williams, who was born with the unique ability to converse with the spirit of compassion, who provides him with extraordinarily accurate health information that's far ahead of his time. Watch this. First of all, I want to welcome Anthony Williams to our show, the #1 New York Times best-selling author of Medical Medium, Life-Changing Foods, Thyroid Healing, Liver Rescue, and Cleanse to Heal. Thank you for being here.
Awesome. Glad to be here. I'm excited. Talk about some healing tools, all of it. Got the heavy metal detox smoothie we're going to do. I'm really pumped up. I'm pumped up.
Well, I'm so honored because, as you know, I'm a diehard fan and follower of all you do. I'm telling everybody that I can tell to do your program. But I wanted to get started and just kind of dive into your gift and your stories, because I don't know if a lot of people know this about you, but you've been doing this since you were like 4.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't talk about it a lot because there's so much to cover. There's all the different cleanses, how to heal, all this stuff that, but yeah, I mean, it goes back since age 4. I just woke up one morning and heard a voice perfectly clear. Like someone was in the room with me, someone was next to me, and it's been like that ever since. That voice has provided advanced information on how to heal. Been talking about the vagus nerve, teaching doctors about the vagus nerve, causing the tightness of the chest and all the anxiety symptoms, and the phrenic nerves causing anxiety symptoms everybody's dealing with. The neurotoxins from viruses for 35 years plus, been teaching people about that, about Epstein-Barr and why people have lupus and fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's. This is all from this source. It's really funny. I talk to my parents, even like now, they'll talk to me like, remember when you were 6 years old and you were talking about all the different viruses when no one even knew, not whatever. And they were like, you're talking about all the different viruses at age 6, age 7, and what they do in people's body, and toxic heavy metals too. I remember back in the 80s telling people how to get their dental fillings removed properly, or be cautious about them or not get them. The silver fillings, like it goes back about the mercury I've been talking about and all the different things it does in our body. And it's been a journey. It's been quite a long journey, but a really powerful one as far as a lot of people healing. And really the results out there that spoke for themselves. And that's with no marketing, Cindy, no PR, no big promotion. It's all from people healing. And it's been really exciting journey, and starting with hearing the voice. And I could talk a little bit more about the training I had from Spirit of Compassion, because that's the source, Spirit of Compassion, since I was a child. And I remember saying, well, what are you? Are you an angel? Are you a ghost? And like, what are you, a spirit? Are you a ghost? What is this? Are you God? And I was questioning. And it was so confusing when I was so young. And the voice would say, I'm the Spirit of Compassion. And I would be like, okay, well, that's what it's always been. The whole reason why I'm even here today is from doctors being like, whoa, this guy can help someone, and then sending patients. And I've talked to 250,000 individuals one-on-one for 35 years, getting them better until the publications of the book. So that's a little bit of my background anyway.
That's what I was going to say, because you've really dedicated your life, to healing and making people heal. And I know so many people that talk about how they have a chronic illness, they have something, but they don't know what they have. And I was misdiagnosed. I mean, that's another reason I'm such an advocate of your book, because I struggled for about 5 years. I was told I had a thyroid problem. I had this. I was put on thyroid medication. I gained 20 pounds. I was lethargic. My hair was falling out. I mean, I had all of these crazy symptoms, bumps all over my body. And, I did vegan. I was vegan for a long time. I'm gluten-free. I tried Plant Paradox. I mean, I tried everything. And then when I got Cleanse to Heal, the book, I started in July, and literally in a month, I was down 11 pounds. I had focus. I had clarity. I was sleeping better. I didn't have bumps anymore. All the swollenness in my body came down. So I just love it. So
you look amazing. You look incredible. Okay.
Thank you.
Glowing, you're shining. You look amazing. I mean, you're not swelling. It all went down.
Well, yeah, and that's what's so great about it. And I think you and I had talked a little bit on Instagram about nightshade vegetables and those kind of things, and I wanted to get into that. But I mean, let's talk about your book. Let's talk about Cleanse to Heal. I mean, I know it's hard to kind of be concise on this because there's so much in here, but let's talk about a little bit about the book and sort of what you cover in here.
Okay. Well, to begin with, it's all information from Spirit of Compassion. So that's where it all comes from. So it's all original and unique in that way. And because people say, well, okay, wait a minute, you must have gotten that from some other person or something. No, it's actually, there's no citations in here. It's all from above. I get called every day by doctors. They reach out, and a doctor said, look, the information is really advanced and it's mind blowing, but it's hard for me to get around where it comes from. And I was like, well, are your patients getting better? And he was like, yes, they're getting better. I go, well, just kind of work with that, because that's what matters. Are they getting better? I want someone to be able to kind of not move forward, but rise out of whatever they're in, that they're stuck in, and just move forward and get out of that. And Cleanse to Heal is like that next level. It's got 7 different cleanses in here, and it's got symptoms and conditions and what to do for them, like the cause. Say you're dealing with crippling anxiety. It'll show you in there what's causing your crippling anxiety. Say you're dealing with PCOS or endometriosis or fibroids. You'll learn in here what's causing your fibroids, because you can't learn that anywhere else, because they'll just say, oh, it's genetic. Like, Cindy, it's genes. That's why your thyroid has a problem. Or that's why you have endometriosis to someone. It's because it's genes or something. Or it's autoimmune, and autoimmune is causing it, or something where your body's attacking itself. But that's not an answer. So
right.
Cleanse to Heal is about providing answers. It's about making sure someone has a way out of their condition.
Yes. And I think for me, the biggest thing was the trigger foods. I mean, that was so eye-opening. I was eating, except for the dairy and the gluten, I was eating everything else on that list. I mean, eggs, I had no idea. And I think people, I was in fitness my whole life, right? So everyone's like, protein, eat your eggs, eat as many eggs as you can. And it's like, wait a minute. As soon as I took that out, I was eating a lot of fat too. As soon as I took that out, I noticed, I think that was huge for me.
Well, yeah, here's how it works with eggs. I have nothing against eggs. I mean, honestly, I would be eating them every day if I didn't know what I knew about them. And when you're dealing with the weight issues, or you're dealing with sickness of any kind, or Hashimoto's thyroiditis or hyperthyroid or anything, the eggs are important to get out of your diet, because what nobody knows, and I talk about it in Cleanse to Heal, I also talk about it on my podcast, but nobody knows is that the eggs feed bugs that cause our fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, Lyme disease. So that's why it's a trigger food. It's viruses. So viruses, Epstein-Barr virus, everybody has it in them. Shingles virus, everybody has it in them. You eat the eggs, they eat the egg.
And then the other thing I really love about your book is the back where you have all the supplements, which I do all the supplements. So you can literally look up inflammation or anxiety or insomnia.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you have all your supplements. So I do that. I have my lemon balm, I have my cat's paw, but it's so simple. And I love that it's simple for people to do.
Well, it's about saving lives. When you look in the book, you'll see in the back, you'll go in here and you'll see symptoms and conditions. I'm just opened it up to irritable bowel syndrome, right? IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And it'll tell you what supplements to use. It'll also tell you the cause of it. That's just one thing right there off the start. And I want people to have answers. And it's not like I'm trying to sell you a $10,000 program. Get the book free at the library.
It's $16.99 on Amazon. I mean,
Yes, $16.99 on Amazon, and it's a medical textbook, and it's in doctors' offices too. So it's in doctors' offices right now. There's thousands of doctors in this country alone in the U.S. that are using these books in their practices, as guides, and they're endorsed by doctors, and they're supported, and the forwards are by doctors. It's pretty exciting to see people healing.
I learned so much, just from the book, from that. But I also want to talk about the fact that you're the originator of the global celery juice movement. So when I read this, just from drinking like 16 ounces, right? And that's what's huge about the book. But I was thinking, oh my gosh, I don't love celery, but it's changed my life, and now I'm an advocate. So, let's talk about the celery.
The global celery juice movement, and it wasn't started by me necessarily. I was the messenger. It was started by Spirit of Compassion since I was a child. And probably 300 or 400 million people are drinking celery juice now globally right now to get their lives back.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Can people, to make a difference, right? Like, let's say they want to make a difference in their life, in their health. Do you recommend they just start with the celery juice?
Look, it's a tool to use just right off the running. So if you're somebody that's dealing with any kind of health struggle, I'm not saying the celery juice is going to fix everything, and if it's the only thing you do, but I will tell you this. It has fixed things for people with just celery juice, where some, like maybe they had some acid reflux, maybe they had something else, but it moves the needle. You can take somebody that's on the best keto diet. You can take somebody that's on the best intermittent fasting diet. You can take somebody that's on the best plant-based diet out there they can find, the best vegan diet, whatever. They're stuck and they're doing all these things, and they tried everything. They tried the charcoal, they tried the fish oil, they tried the different diets, they tried collagen, they tried whatever, right? Apple cider vinegar, but they're still stuck. Then that group of people brings in celery juice and it changes their life. I've seen vegans that are connoisseurs of health. Some of them will then keep it on the down low because, they're like, no, it wasn't that celery juice. Don't want to give medical medium all the credit. But most people are just straight out and they're like, yeah, the celery juice changed everything and moved the needle.
I love that. And I love how clear you are about everything. That to me is so easy. It's like you tell everybody exactly what happens, right? So it's like with celery juice, it fights illness, right? It lowers inflammation, it supports weight loss. It's like, okay, it makes sense, because sometimes people talk in circles and you're like, wait, what does it mean? But you don't. Okay, so we're going to talk about one of my favorite smoothies. And in the book, we're going to talk about the heavy metal smoothie. I have my blend jet. I actually bring this to the office. So when I'm working, I can mix my stuff up together here, which is so simple. But let's talk about what's in this smoothie.
This is the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie, okay? Right here, you got some blueberries, 2 cups of frozen wild blueberries right there. It's in there. The frozen wild blueberries, unlike any fruit there is in the world, okay? This goes to the brain. It helps to really de-age us. And some people are like, what do you mean anti-aging? How does it work? Well, what it does is it loosens up metals in our brain. Something that's really important to know. It loosens them up to pull them out and then heal the divot metals make. Wait a minute, I don't got toxic heavy metals in me at all. ADHD, autism, right? Anxiety, depression, depersonalization, bipolar, OCD, the list goes on and on and on. Throw some cilantro in there. I like putting a lot in here. So cilantro. This heavy metal detox smoothie, okay, is designed to get metals completely out of the body. You can be somebody that's like, oh, I'll do a little cilantro, that'll cover it. It won't. It won't get it out of the brain. You need a bunch of things together, and I'm giving you what that bunch is now. So you got that, the cilantro. So 1 cup of cilantro is great. Look, I use more. I'm just saying what I like to do. Okay, that's what I like to do. I like more. Bottom line, so I use more cilantro in there. Throw 2 bananas in there. Don't be afraid of bananas. I tell people.
And I was going to say that because I was always scared of fruit, and they fear fruit. And when I first read it, I'm like, 2 bananas? Oh my gosh, can I really eat all this? Isn't it bad sugar? But it's not. I mean, I've lost weight, and it's like I'm eating more fruit now. Well, I've got my smoothies. I feel better than ever.
Well, I'm not saying that you did this at all, but there's people out there that are like, I'm going to stay away from those bananas. I'm going to stay away from that fruit. And then they all of a sudden get a sweet tooth real quick, and it hits them, and they down that pasta. Or wait, they down that piece of bread. Or wait, they down that cake. But then they're back on their no fruit, no sugar diet. But then they do it again. This is a better way to go, is to do the bananas, because it's actually a good sugar. It's glucose for the brain. And that's what we need. You got to look at a banana like this. You got to look at it like that's our glucose. And okay, without blood sugar, we're nothing. You can't just go no sugar forever. You will burn out all your glucose reserves, your glycogen reserves. You'll hit the wall someday. I've seen people do it. So yeah, blood sugar is important. So that's your glucose. So that's the bananas right there. I like to put oranges in here. That's part of the recipe. You can squeeze 1 orange. I like to squeeze 2 oranges in here. So I've seen people on social media do the heavy metal detox smoothie, and they're like, I'm throwing the orange itself in here without the skin, but the whole orange. I'm like, you could do that. You can do that. It's totally cool. I like throwing some dulse in there. So this is Atlantic dulse. You got it? You got it? So,
yeah.
All right. Okay, you got it. So I like to get some dulse in there. That goes in. I'm only being passionate about this for a reason, because I've seen people stuck with their depression, stuck with their anxiety. I hear about it all the time. Like, I wish I knew how to get the metals out so I can be free from my eczema and psoriasis someday and get my life back. Barley grass juice powder right here. I'm putting a teaspoon in. You got it?
I got it.
That's great. That's good. Some barley grass juice powder, putting that in right there. Some spirulina. That's my favorite brand out there. The cleanest stuff that I've ever seen out there. It's the Vimergy one I like. Get the spirulina in here. I put a teaspoon of that in there. Just it's funny, but you can't. People have different kinds of metals in different places. And a lot of people have them deep in the organ. So they don't know it. Deep in the liver, deep in the spleen, deep in the pancreas, deep in the colon lining, deep in the brain. And we need more than just a little hat trick or a little party trick. You got to get the stuff out. And
it's so good. It's so good.
And you end up with a heavy metal detox smoothie, medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie right here.
I love it. I think it's so yummy, and I do it. I do your plan, so I can say it's very good, and I obviously felt the results. But I want to talk about everything that you have available right now. So all of your books are available on Amazon, right? So you can go to Amazon, you can get any of your books right now.
Yeah.
$16.99. Okay, it's going on my gift guide this year. I'm telling everybody. So I'm going to be doing my annual gift guide, and I'm going to tell everyone they have to get it, anyone that I haven't told yet.
Well, I mean, it's packed with information, 7 cleanses. It's got a recipe book inside, 75 recipes.
Yes, and I've made some of those recipes. The pizzas, the potato pizzas, I love. But okay, so I'm so excited though, because you have to announce you have a new podcast, right? Which you just launched, which is free information. It's fabulous. So let's talk about that.
Yep, it's like a docu-series in a podcast. So it's not a like the normal podcast where you have a guest on and a guest on and guest on. It's a production of information so that you have all these tools. Because, I want people to be able to move forward. So, I have the episodes they're intense, some of them, but I have an anxiety episode that talks about all the different types of anxiety, like the tightness in the chest and the anxiousness, the not being able to sleep, the racing thoughts, the racing heart, the numbness, the panic attacks. I have the brain fog episode. I have that one there. I have an episode on the potato, the nightshade.
Yeah, the nightshade one.
Yeah, that's really good.
That one's great. And also meditation. Didn't you just do that?
And the meditations.
That's the new one.
The brain meditation. I just released the stargazing meditation to help heal the soul. It's free. You listen to the podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts, so it's Medical Medium Podcast. There's no ads in this.
Amazing.
I chose not to do the ads. There's nothing wrong with having ads and stuff. There's nothing wrong with all of that and commercials. I support it, but I just wanted to make sure in this podcast that wasn't there.
I love that. Well, I'm so excited that I was able to spend time with you today. I know that everybody can go to medicalmedium.com to find out information on you, where to get your books, everything. I just wanted to see, is there something that you want to leave our viewers with today, like a thought or just anything that you would like us to know?
Yeah, your body's always working for you. It's not working against you. Your body loves you unconditionally. It doesn't harm you. So when you feel like you got a symptom or you get a condition or a diagnosis and you're going through a hard time, it's not your body letting you down. There's real reasons behind the scenes people don't know about of why we're sick, and you can get better and you can heal. And be easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You're a good person. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not your fault. That's why, it's not your fault why you've got a symptom or you're sick or not feeling good. So keep a light heart. Know that you can heal. Nothing can get in the way when you have the tools. Your body just wants to know that you're on its side. You guys are working together as a team and you can move forward.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm so gracious that you, and humbled that you spent this time with us today. Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you. And I will report back on my 28-day cleanse too.
Well, I just want to tell you that I'm really proud of you, Cindy. Seriously, you've worked really hard. You've blown my mind. And that's a big deal. I mean, what you've done and what you're doing, I'm beyond proud of you. Seriously, all the hard work you got into it, all that you're doing. I mean, it's amazing. And you look fantastic.
Thank you so much, and thank you for changing my life.
For more information on Anthony and how to find his podcast or buy his books, you can go to medicalmedium.com. We had the opportunity to spend a day on Triton Charters Catamaran, spanning 75 feet and accommodating up to 105 passengers with amenities like you've never seen before. Located in Shelter Island, you've got to see it to believe it. Check this out. Hey everybody, I'm Cindy Matalucci and you're watching The Pulse. I'm here with Trevor, captain of Triton Charters. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so excited to be here today. So you're San Diego's newest and largest catamaran, and we're gonna take you inside. But before we do, I wanna talk about your story because you guys traveled 6,800 miles from Galveston, Texas to get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the boat was actually in a lake in Lake Louisville, Texas. And then we brought it on flatbeds, brought down the highway to Galveston. Sailed it up from Galveston, went through the Panama Canal, stopped in Cabo along the way, and 6,800 miles in 31 days.
31 days of travel, but you guys are here. You made it to San Diego. That was in August. You guys are the largest catamaran to enter the San Diego market. We're talking 75 feet. You can accommodate 105 passengers. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So let's talk about the experience. Like, what can people expect when they come on to Triton?
So pretty much it's very customizable. As you can see, it's kind of an open air concept, 13-person wraparound bar, plenty of seating for everybody. If you go to the bow, there's tramps. Seating is up there as well. Water trampolines, electronic surfboards, pretty much anything you guys want we can get.
And you guys have a dance floor and sound system, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the party or the celebration that you're having.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, speakers all over the boat. Dance floor, like you said, on the bow. If you want to do a wedding, anything like that, we can install that, so there's plenty of space for everybody.
Well, and I love about you guys that each charter, you guys have a Coast Guard certified captain, which would be you, right?
Yep.
And the crew members, right?
So there's always captain, crew, and then bartender as well.
Bartender, full service bar, right? Panoramic views of the San Diego Bay when you guys are traveling out there.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the average charter, it's kind of, up to you guys, very customizable. We can go to the ocean, or we can just cruise the bay, see all the scenery, go into Glorieta Bay, do some swimming over there. It's, like I said, just very customizable, and whatever you guys want to do, we can do.
So you've got two private charter options, so the Triton, which is the GC70, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the Malarkey charter.
The Malarkey is actually a 47-foot catamaran down in Mission Bay, and that can seat up to 12 people. Pretty much we do day cruises on that, but you can do Catalina trips.
So if somebody wants to experience Triton, they can do a ticketed charter for what, $55 a ticket?
Yeah, so it's $55 a ticket. You can do a ticketed charter. It's about 2.5 hours. We do a daytime and a sunset cruise.
That's so amazing. So you have something for everyone. Okay, so for the people that are saying, okay, well, what about a sailboat as opposed to a catamaran? I want to talk about the catamaran difference because there's reasons to book a catamaran.
Yeah, so the catamaran's way wider, so you have more space. It's going to stay flatter, so if you get a little seasick, you should be fine on the Triton.
So what's the best way for people to book you? Is it to go to your website?
Yeah, you can go to the website.
Okay, so Triton-Charters.com. You guys have got to check out this boat. And then what do you want people to experience on the boat?
We just want them to experience what San Diego has to offer. We'll take you guys out, see the city, see all the sights. The Navy has a big presence. We'll go buy all the Navy boats and basically just have some fun on the water.
Well, we're so excited. Thanks for having us. So our team's going to do a private charter, and we're going to showcase everything, show you what's happening inside the boat, and they're going to make me a signature cocktail. So let's go inside. Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm at my favorite spot. I'm at the bar, and I'm with bartender extraordinaire Brett. How are you?
Wonderful, how are you?
I'm so excited. You're gonna make us a signature cocktail because you guys have a flagship cocktail here.
We do. It is our Triton's Anchor. So it's a wonderful cocktail. We wanted to mix rum and rye together, which not too many, fun boat drinks, summer drinks have. So it starts out with coconut water rum, and then we add Templeton rye. Add that with a little bit of pineapple juice and some bitters.
And he's quick on the draw, folks.
And then we top that off with a little bit of ginger beer. And then your favorite part right here.
And you guys are using Cutwater spirits.
We are using
Local
Cutwater for our
company.
ginger beer, yeah.
We love that. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, let's taste it. Here's looking at you. That's delicious. For more information on Triton Charters, you can go to Triton-Charters.com. For more of these stories, you can go to www.thepulsesd.com. Make sure to follow us on social media at ThePulseSD for all the behind-the-scenes fun. That's going to do it for today's episode. We'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.